Our keynote today is Curtis Jones, and I just have to say it has been a wonderful privilege to work with Curtis since I took this job. UnifiedErie has been a really exciting project to be a part of, but there have been people who got on board very early and who have been super supportive. And as a city council member and as a member of our community, Curtis has been super supportive of all the aspects of UnifiedErie, and it is my privilege to introduce Curtis Jones.
Andrew, I appreciate you tremendously, and for all of you that are working with Andrea and UnifiedErie and everything that we as a community are doing to make our community better, let's give ourselves a round of applause. I don't know everyone's name, I don't know everyone's position, but every one of us has a component part. We are a component part of what makes this community wonderful. I'm beyond honored to be here. I hear Gary Lee, a good friend of mine, and we work together in many variety of areas, and he said, you know, our guest speaker. And I was just like, I'm from here, I'm not a guest, I'm a part of the family, but I recognize the position of honor to be able to speak to such valuable people and such impactful people in our community. Oftentimes because of what we get paid, I'll look around and scan, and so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Often what we get paid financially, salary, hour-to-hour rate, doesn't let us know or doesn't remind us how valuable we are. But we are much more than what we make in our paycheck, and the investment that we make into our young people that we interact with every day is priceless. So before I go any further, I just want to take a moment to tell you how valuable you are. And if it wasn't for you, just take a moment. We have a lot of challenges in our community. Young people, challenges, adults. We all have a lot of issues and concerns that we are constantly working on, finding ways to improve, finding ways to grow and develop, and to maximize the potential of all the young people that we work with. But here's the thing, and it's still a little bit crazy. Can I get an amen? Gary was talking about his father being a pastor and him feeling comfortable behind the podium. He did the classic preacher, I won't say lie in church, the classic preacher miscommunication. I won't be long. Because Andrea told me that I can't be long, I'm looking at the time. You are so valuable. But again, oftentimes we don't know that and we don't recognize that. And I just want to share with you the absolute importance that you represent in this community. Because as crazy as things are, could you imagine if you didn't do what you do, how crazy it would be? And not only would it be even more crazy, but guess what? The seed that we, and I say we, because I work with young people, and since I was a kid, I was working with kids. I remember looking over my friend Dennis Williams. The first day I worked at Sarah Reed Children's Center in July of 1999. Dennis was on a Saturday morning, his day off, in his office, cutting a young man's hair. That's how I got introduced to Dennis Williams at Sarah Reed Children's Center. I don't know who's getting picked for all this. That's not a commercial for Dennis. But if it worked, isn't a great example of investing. And literally about 2 years ago or so, I saw that young man, and he still talks about him today. What you don't see, and what we often don't see, is the most important thing. We have to begin to not allow our sight, which is natural and upfront and everyday, to get in the way of our vision. Vision is not right now. Vision is the projection of hope and life and abundance into a future place that, watch this, you may not even see the fruit of it yourself. The Bible says one thing, and I'm a preacher, I'm in church, so I'm at home all the way. And my daddy's a preacher, and my mom was a preacher, and my grandpa was, I won't give you the lineage. The Bible says something really powerful. It talks about in a story, and I'll share it with you quickly. It says that when a person is immature or a child, they are under tutors and governors until the time of their maturity. And often when we read that in church or we hear that lesson preached or taught or talked about, it's really focusing on the children. And watch this, believe it or not, I don't want to talk about the children today. I want to talk about you. We're here to honor what you do as tutors and governors and preparers of not the next generation, of the now generation. Now, and I use now as an acronym, we must begin to teach our young people, and watch this, learn this lesson ourselves as adults. Learn how to navigate our opportunities and our obstacles wisely. Now is the time for you to walk into the authority that you've always had as a tutor and a governor. The Bible also declares to us that we must train up our young people in the way that they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart from it. Now, in between, you've departed, and then look, we come back full circle, don't we? How many of you said, I ain't gonna be mean like my parents raised us? And next thing you know, you try to be soft, and your kids start running all over you, and then you go right back to what mom and them said. We learn how to navigate every opportunity, every obstacle, everything that we encounter. We must use wise behavior and use wisdom. The Bible declares that wisdom is the primary thing. And wisdom is much different than just facts and information. Working in social services for my whole adult life, I've read the books, I've taken the classes, I've been in great workshops, but the issue is not the information alone, it's how do we apply the information to have a lasting effect on the young people that we're investing in. Wisdom is defined as the ability to apply knowledge appropriately. I remember when I first started working in residential treatment, I was trying to work with the children the way my parents worked with me. Did you hear what I said? I said, sit down. And the response was, hold up. On the cartoon, on the show, it'd be like expletives, like it'd be slash, dash, number mark, hashtag. I know we in church, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act funny. If you're, as Gary said, over 40, frigger, fragger, sugar, fraggish. Right? And what I learned quickly was that the information that was given to me doesn't always work the way that it was given to me. Because when my parents told me, Carrie, to sit down, I went and sat down because the belt was next. Our kids are, listen, the only way our kids are afraid of belts today is to put them on. They ain't afraid of no belt. And I learned very quickly that I had to be able to navigate in nuance with every individual child that I worked with, what works for them. Because as we have learned in education, the cookie cutter approach does not work. You might have 1% of 1% of 1/4% that works for. And the rest of us are lost. I want to take I got another 2 minutes. Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds. To remind you, as you encourage these young people and work with them, that you have to take time to encourage and work on yourself too. Because family, you cannot give away what you don't have. The Bible declares, I'm preaching. I am preaching. I'm good. I feel good. Give your neighbor a high five. No, some of y'all can relate to that. Some of you can't. But we all here together today. If you don't take care of you, then you cannot give to these children and young people that we're working with the ability to take care of themselves. Because you cannot give what you don't have. Jack and I are good friends. And if Jack needed $1 million, as much as this is my man, my partner, I could call him, hey Jack, I got a young man, if he needed $1 million, I'd have to refer him out. It's not a lack of love or concern, it's just an inability to give what is not available for me to give. So as the Bible tells us, we must love our neighbor, how? As ourselves. But if we don't have self-love, we can't give away love to anyone else. You can't give what you don't have. So we must take care of ourselves, and this is what we often don't do. We work second shift, third shift, first shift, we just combine and we just do and we give and give and give. But at some point, if you don't refill, then you have nothing left to give. And then we begin to snap. I've been there, snap on the kids that I once was talking too smooth yesterday. But now I'm tired. Did you hear what now I go back to the default, sit down because I said so. You can't give what you don't have. Don't allow what you see in the moment, because every child you work with will not master life in your time with them. They'll master it later, but the seed you plant will be absolutely necessary and impactful for their success in the future. So don't stop sowing. Don't stop giving. Don't stop investing. I have a couple more things I want to say real quick. Don't give up on your victory while you're still losing. I'll say that again because I know it's got to rattle around in here. Don't give up on your victories while you're still losing. Because the greatest sports story is the comeback. The greatest success story is the one that where it looks like everything fell apart and all of a sudden something happened and we're back on track. Don't give up on your success and your victory while you're still losing. Don't let what you see get in the way of what you envision. Last Bible reference, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard what is prepared and what lies in the future for each and every one of us. But watch this, here's the caveat. You got to invest the right seed and plant the right seed and take care of yourself so that you can be all that you're supposed to be as a tutor and a governor and a worker with the youth in our community. And watch this, they are not the future. They are the right now. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're the right now. They got all of us in this room. They've had us in the room in the church the other day. They're the right now. So we must begin to help them navigate every obstacle and every opportunity wisely. Thank you so much for hearing, and thank you for having me today.